What's up, fight fans? Thank you as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. All right, so my team Liverpool have just been beaten by Manchester City. Very depressing. Can't lie to you, very depressing. The funny thing is, this is a boxing channel, so obviously, a lot of people think that I am just 100% boxing, and I'm not. Like, not at all. I watch every single sport, but my first love will always be Liverpool. Like, it's the most important thing in my life. So they have just lost, so there's nothing else to do but have a drink. Fuck it. Like, it's so depressing. Gotta have a drink. And if you are gonna drink, get some good stuff in you. Gentleman Jack. I don't know why, but a few people moaned about me drinking on this channel, which is almost laughable. Like, I want this channel to be sponsored by a drink company just so I can get some free alcohol. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination an alcoholic, but I do like a drink now and again. And if it's gonna be a drink, let it be a good drink. Cheers, people. It's a good drink. All right, so let's talk boxing anyway. Mikey Garcia versus ERROL SPENCE. A big fight for the new year. I would say probably the biggest fight announced so far in 2019. There are going to be some others, obviously, but I think this is the biggest one announced so far. ERROL SPENCE, the so-called boogeyman of boxing. Mikey Garcia, 4-weight world champion. Can he go up in weight and cause ERROL SPENCE problems? We'll discuss that in another video. For now, I want to discuss the drug testing in this fight. I'm going to rant a bit. Fuck it, I've had a drink. I'm going to rant a bit about the drug testing. Now, initially, there was talk about no drug testing for this fight, which is crazy. When I say no drug testing, there is drug testing on the night of the fight. There is drug testing after the fight. So there is drug testing in major fights, but I'm talking about drug testing in the lead up to the fight. There was talk about no drug testing in the lead up to the fight. That has changed. VADA have jumped on board. There was an outcry when people heard about no drug testing. VADA now have jumped on board. There will be drug testing for it. But there is drug testing a month before the fight. That's it. So there will be drug testing a month before the fight. And I just want to get this out clear, because I'm not accusing anyone. Mikey Garcia, obviously his picture is on my thumbnail just because he looks a bit bigger. I'm not accusing Mikey Garcia. I have my suspicions about both, and we'll talk about it in a minute, but I'm not out and out accusing Mikey Garcia. He's never failed a drug test. And to be fair, I've never, up until recently, with him kind of moving up and down weights, I've never ever been suspicious of Mikey Garcia. I am a bit suspicious now, but I haven't in the past. But yeah, so there will be drug testing up until a month before the fight, which it's just bollocks, isn't it? Like, what does that prove? I don't know what that proves. VADA, alongside the WBC, are trying to do good things with their all-year-round drug testing. Even that's not enough, but there's no more they can do, right? That's all you can do. People will still circumvent that. People will still cheat. If you are a cheater, you will find a way of cheating. That's just how it is. If you're not a cheater, you won't cheat, right? And there are some boxers out there that I just don't think cheat, and there are some boxers out there that I think will try and find a way to gain an advantage, and sometimes that is by cheating. But to say that this fight is now, and I've read some articles where Mikey and ERROL both said, look, we want to prove to people that, you know, you don't have to cheat in sport. By saying that and then doing testing a month before the fight, as though that somehow proves that no one's cheating, is absolute bollocks, people. I have, I want to say I've studied drug testing in sports, but I've read so many articles about drug testing in sports. But you can take certain drugs 3 to 4 months before a fight, and the benefits of that drug will still be in your system way after you've flushed it out of your system. So you can be tested. They'll find nothing, but you're going to reap the benefits. I was reading a document by Michel Verican. If you don't know who Michel Verican is, head of UKAD in the 80s, head for like 20 years, I think the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. And the document was about the struggle to catch drug cheats, because there are drugs out there. You know, when we think of steroids, and this is a kind of subject, I'm going to bring it back in a minute. When we think of steroids, I still think we have this stupid mindset, maybe because of Ben Johnson or because of bodybuilders, hence why Anthony Joshua is called a steroid cheat, of muscles. We think of it as just brawn muscles. So if someone has a six-pack, look ripped, triceps and delts, and like, oh, a steroid cheat. And she was basically referring to the fact that there are drugs out there that help you with awareness, alertness, reaction time. So that idea that we have in our heads about guys just looking big and bulky, and I still understand why people think that, that's way in the past. Way in the past. There are drugs out there that boxers use, fact, that help you with things that are so important in boxing, especially when it gets to the later rounds, rounds 10, 11, when you are starting to feel tired and fatigued and your alertness does go, your reaction time goes. There's drugs out there that help you with that, right? And those drugs you can take 3 to 4 months before competition, get them out of your system, and they will still help you come fight night. That's why, and again, I'm not accusing anyone here because, look, it's not about that right now. So that's why when VADA say they are drug testing ERROL Spence and Mikey Garcia the month before a big fight, I don't sort of raise my flag and say, well done. Fuck that. All year round drug testing is the only way. And again, like I said, people will circumvent that. People will find a way to get around that, but that's the only way it's going to happen. People already have their suspicions of ERROL Spence. I don't know why. I don't think it's fair, but some people have suspicions of ERROL Spence. Mikey Garcia is jumping up to 147 to face the boogeyman. You've got to do all year round drug testing. It's such a high profile fight. Look, I get financially, you maybe can't do all year round drug testing for every fight. It's just not possible. But for the high profile matchups, as soon as they are even spoken about, because ERROL Spence, Mikey Garcia has been on the cards for 3 or 4 months. As soon as that happens, boom, start testing. For some reason, they're testing a month before a fight. Makes no sense. And seriously, guys, if you can get your hand on a Gentleman Jack, please. This is a litre bottle as well. A litre bottle. How long will this last me? Couple of months, I think. Couple of months. Yeah. And he's with Victor Conte. I mean, look, I actually like Victor Conte, right? Every time someone pops, Victor Conte is the first person they go to talk to, right? Because Victor Conte seems to be the guru of drug cheats, right? He knows exactly, look, he's been in prison for it, so he knows exactly how someone cheats and why they cheat. And he's literally been the mastermind behind some of the top sporting athletes getting caught, right? So he is the man. But the problem I have with Victor Conte and Mikey Garcia is this. Every time Victor Conte does an interview, Victor Conte always seems to mention that it's easy to cheat. He mentions it all the time. I don't know why he does it. Sometimes I think, why do you keep saying this? He mentions that, and I was actually just reading it now. While I was thinking about doing this video, I just went and read a statement by Victor Conte. It's an old statement, I think it's about 4 or 5 years ago, where he talks about how easy it is to get around the drug testing. And when he's linked up with Mikey Garcia, and he works with a few other boxers, not just Mikey he works with a lot of boxers right now, and supposedly he is now on the good side, supposedly. But when he talks about how it's so easy to cheat, and he was the mastermind behind drug cheating, I mean, you'd have to be a dickhead not to be suspicious. You'd have to be an idiot not to be suspicious when someone says it's easy to cheat. If it's easy to cheat, then, I mean, and you were the mastermind behind cheating, I mean, 2 + 2 = 4 for me. But again, not saying anyone's cheating. I'm just saying I am suspicious. I am suspicious now about every big event where there's not all year round drug testing. I'm just saying, I've been burnt too many times, people. I've been burnt too many times. Marion Jones burnt me, completely ruined me when I was young. John Jones has completely burnt me. Completely burnt me. I can name more, but those are the 2 big ones. Lance Armstrong, we're not even going to make a video about that. But those 2, Marion Jones and John Jones, the 2 athletes where I thought naturally were part of the most gifted athletes ever, both of them cheat. So I am suspicious of everyone that doesn't do all year round drug testing. I am suspicious. And I'm very suspicious about both Mikey and ERROL, I have to admit. Especially when I consider Mikey having to put on extra poundage and go down in weight and go up in weight. Just suspicious, people. But anyway, cheers. It's good stuff. Very good stuff. Trust me, get it.